All hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. In today's video, we're discussing Nitro Noir from KIERIN NYC. Now, I've had this one in my collection alongside Sunday Brunch for a few months now, and it's time for the review. Now, before I actually hop into the review, I want to give you a little bit of history and background on the company so you understand the direction. Now, this bottle, along with Sunday Brunch, was sent to me for review, and I got to speak with some of the creators over at KIERIN NYC, and that's where I learned about the company. Now, KIERIN NYC kind of set out to be disruptive in the fragrance world. They set out to make vegan, cruelty-free fragrances that were progressive and genderless and neutral and all those cool words that you throw around these days. And have they done a good job on it? We shall see. Now, from my discussions with the brand, they are cruelty-free, they are minimalistic, they are socially responsible, and they have also done a good job on some of these fragrances, so we shall talk about that. But now that we are done with that, let's get down to this. Now, there is more that meets the eye when you look at the KIERIN NYC presentation. I would show you that, but I've already fucked the box. Now, listen, this is my second time recording this video, all right? I did it, but the mic was turned the opposite way, so therefore you could not hear anything, so I couldn't like redo that portion of it. But here's what I will say. So when I think about KIERIN NYC fragrances, I think of stuff that is minimalistic in terms of presentation, right? And I think that's one of the things they were going for. But what you will notice on all the KIERIN NYC fragrances is this white bottle along with some type of imagery on the side to represent them being on the cutting edge of the fragrance world. So I think that is a cool thing and a nice way for them to play it into the fragrances itself. The packaging also looks the same, but I can't show you. Now, within these bottles, you have some unique juices. Now, with Nitro Noir, you have a fragrance that has Italian bergamot, you have patchouli, you have orris, and you also have pink berries. Now, when I spray Nitro Noir, I get something that is slightly sweet. You have some green earthiness to this as well, with also a hint of spice. To me, this one comes off as a pleasant, unique, subtle scent that stands out from the crowd. Now, when I think of unique scents, I think of fragrances that sometimes may not be crowd pleasers, one that people will not always like, but I think that's the case with a lot of fragrances. No matter if they're crowd pleasers as well, you're going to come across people who don't like specific fragrances. But this case, I feel like that Nitro Noir is a solid fragrance. It's subtle, but it also stands out from the crowd, as which they are looking to make this fragrance do, stand out from the crowd, and I think they do that extremely well. To me, as this one dries down, is really when it begins to take shape. You have a bit of sharpness to it. You also have, again, that earthiness here, which I think is kind of maybe brought to you by that patchouli or either that orris. That orris has this iris type of vibe to it, but a bit more dirty as it's being a root itself, and I think it's a solid fragrance. As that dry down is there, it is a bit more complex and it has a bit more depth than you have there in the opening, but along with that, I still feel like it is something that is going to be well received from people out there. Actually, when I wore this fragrance, I got the verbatim that you smell amazing, and that sentiment was repeated verbatim, word for word, again and again during my wearings of this fragrance. So I definitely think this is one that people will enjoy. Not everyone will like it, but I think you're going to get more yeses than nos when you smell this one. Another cool thing with this fragrance, in my personal opinion, with it being a unique scent with some complexity and the depth there, I feel like that this one can be used as a signature scent, and that's not always the case when you get into some of these fragrances that have a bit, you know, different type of feel to it. I definitely feel like someone can wear this one as their signature scent and be a-okay. KIERIN NYC as a brand emphasizes fragrances that are gender neutral or genderless, and I feel like this one does a great job at, you know, toting the line there. So traditionally when we speak of fragrances, we think of, at least here in the US, you think of fragrances that are going to be either for men or for women, and most of the department stores are split up that way as well. You go in, section for women, section for men, but I feel like there are a few fragrance brands that kind of transition between those or blur those lines a bit better than others, and I definitely think that this is one of them. With some of the notes there, you have those floral notes, and you also have some of the gourmand aspects here. It blends extremely well, and I definitely think that this is one that you can wear, whether you're a male or female, and get away with, right? So you could also share this between your spouse. You know, you guys can get this fragrance and wear it separately, and I don't think anyone will know the difference. Personally, I think you'll feel confident wearing this fragrance. To me, this one is calming, refreshing. It has this slightly intoxicating type of feel to it, a vibe to it. So those are some of the keywords that stand out to you and what you're looking for in a fragrance. Then look no further than Nitro Noir. Overall, Nitro Noir has solid performance, especially when you think that they remove a lot of those extra stability ingredients within fragrances that kind of change the composition just a bit, but also help in terms of the performance and projection. I think they do a good job on this one. It has solid longevity. It doesn't project a ton, but the sillage scent trail is there as well, and I think this is one that you would get away with. You can also bring this one with you if you're looking to reapply, but I don't feel like it's needed. When you look at kind of the best situation or scenarios to wear this one in, this is going to be one when you wear when you're going out and want to stand out, right? So I definitely feel like for the time that you wear this one, maybe in a close encounter situation, one of the taglines that they use for this fragrance is you never know who you're going to meet, or something along those lines, or when you'll meet someone. And I feel like that itself is a perfect setup, not just for this fragrance, but for any fragrance in itself, right? You want to always present yourself in a good light when you're meeting new people, or when you meet people that you already know. And I feel like that this one does that extremely well. It definitely helps you present yourself in a favorable light. Again, compliment factor is moderate on this one. This is not one that everyone is going to like, but I feel like you're going to come across more people who like it than people who do not like it. I've worn this one in a few of the weekly fragrance rotation videos, and this one has emerged victorious as a weekly winner. And again, some of the sentiments or comments that I've gotten when wearing this fragrance is you smell amazing. So that is a good way to pick a fragrance. If you're looking to smell amazing, you get a fragrance that people tell you smell amazing when wearing. Now, aside from all of the cool things I told you about this fragrance, in addition to, you know, the compliment factor, some of the stuff behind the brand in terms of them being cruelty free and their social responsibility aspect of it, I think another cool thing about it is they're not trying to take as much money from you. Like some of these companies put these wild stories behind their fragrances and then, you know, inflate the price, you know what I mean there. And KIERIN NYC takes a slightly different approach. They make these fragrances affordable, thinking kind of like that Walmart type approach, but don't compare this one to Walmart. Walmart is prices that you can afford, and again, they kind of, you know, they make their money off of volume versus like jacking the prices up, right? And I feel like that's kind of the approach they're looking here. They could jack their prices up and make money that way, but if you sell it in the volume, then you can make money that way as well. And then if you're looking to decide what fragrance is going to be best for you, they do have samplers available on their site. I believe they go for $18, so you know that's not expensive in itself. So you should be able to find the perfect one for you. But I feel like this is a good starting point, at least from the fragrances that I've tried. If I had to rate this fragrance, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. I feel like this is a good fragrance, a nice introduction to the house, and I really like the social responsibility with this fragrance. When I spoke to Mona, one of the owners over at KIERIN NYC, she talked about diversity and inclusion and really being disruptive in the fragrance game, and I really can stand behind that. So shout out to them for making that a priority. So if you're looking for a fragrance brand you can trust with a purpose, then be sure to check out KIERIN NYC.